Valentine's Day. It comes every year whether you like it or not. Everybody's gonna...
Yeah. Happy Valentine's Day.
It's Valentine's Day today?
Oh.
Hello?
Sorry. I get Halloween and Valentine's Day mixed up. What I meant to say was happy week after Halloween. Now, if you don't know what Halloween is, don't feel bad. I didn't know what it was until last week myself. When I heard them talking about it on the radio, that's when I found out what Halloween was. And so we did a whole podcast on it. So if you don't know what Halloween is, or you haven't listened to last week's episode yet, go back and listen to it. You'll be happy you did. But Halloween is basically when the adults say, hey, wait a minute. Halloween isn't just for kids, like that old commercial when I was growing up about the Trix cereal.
Silly rabbit. Tricks are for kids.
I'm already formulating my next plan.
Well, that's what we kind of think about Halloween, but Halloween is all about, in fact, I think we should call it Halloween, right? Halloween is all about adults saying, wait a minute, we'll go out with the kids or we'll hand out candy, but we want our time too. So they take the weekend that's closest to Halloween and they celebrate it the whole week, and it's called Hallow Weekend, which I rename Holla Weekend. Maybe for some, Halloween, maybe they celebrate a little bit too hard, and Halloween feels more like Hannibal weekend to you today. I hope that's not you. Hopefully your skeleton weekend didn't turn into Skeleno weekend. Hopefully your Holla weekend was a holla weekend and it hollowed back. Because it's such a great weekend. But I get it confused a lot with Valentine's Day. Because if you think about it, Valentine's Day and Halloween are both about candy, and they're both about being something you're not. Let's talk about that. But before we do, you know what I got to do. You know what time it is. And I don't know if I should do this. I can't wait. I probably should wait, but I don't want to wait. At Happy Life Studios, the official podcast of the holidays, it's time for, yeah, you got it. Happy holiday.
Happy holiday.
Welcome
Happy holiday.
to Happy Life Studios.
May the calendar keep bringing happy holidays to you.
We're here to make your happy holidays even happier.
If you're burdened down with trouble, if your nerves are wearing thin, pack your load down the road, come to holiday.
Happier holidays. Happier holidays. Happier holidays. Happier holidays.
Happy holiday.
What's up, Happy Lifer? Thanks for listening to us today. I am so happy you did. And I'm so happy that it's happier holiday season. Now, if there's some out there that'll be like, not you two. The stores already start celebrating the holidays too soon. Now you're going to start celebrating the holidays after Halloween, after Holla Weekend. Yeah, we are. Number one, because we're the official podcast of the holidays. And number two, it's because a lot of people, their holidays, they last, like normal holidays last one day, you know. That's why I liked Halloween so much, because Halloween is about taking one day and spreading it out over an entire weekend. I think we should do that with all of our holidays, because all of our holidays represent something or someone that's huge, that's vital, that's important, and we should celebrate it for more than just a day. And that's what I think about the holidays. These holidays are too powerful to just celebrate a couple of weeks or even just a month or so. Especially Thanksgiving. Before I talk about Thanksgiving, I want to go back to Halloween. I want to go back to Halloween, and the reason why we're starting it at Halloween. Halloween is all about the inner child, the child inside of each one of us, the child that we were told when we got older to silence that thing. Stop dreaming, stop imagining, stop, grow up. Grow up and stop being a child. And there's a difference between being childish and being childlike. That's what makes the holidays so great. These holidays are all about our inner child. When Christmas comes around, we're singing songs that we sang when we're children, and they're the same artist. It's really the only holiday that does that. Other holidays might have some songs, but Christmas, man, is all about not just songs, but songs that we sang when we were a kid, and even the ones that are done by current stars and musicians are still the same lyrics and still the same song, maybe jazzed up, maybe remixed or whatever, but it brings back those childlike memories. That's why I think it's so important to start celebrating the holidays right at Halloween or Halloweekend or Holla Weekend, because we have tapped into our inner child. That's one reason why adults said, hey, wait a minute, I'm not a kid anymore, but I still want to celebrate. Well, truth is, you still are a kid. I still am a kid. We still are that 3-year-old, no matter what age you are. If you're past 19, you're still that 19-year-old self. You still have memories of when you were 25 or when you were 6 or when you were whatever. If you're older than that, you are still that person from the past. And that's what makes Halloween so great. We tap into that child, the candy. It's like we give ourselves an excuse to dress up and to visit that child again. And I think if we keep that inner child going throughout all the holidays, they're going to be better holidays. Here's the other thing that Halloween and Valentine's Day have in common, other than they're both about candy and being something that you're not. But they're also about happier holidays. Happier holidays for us starts at Halloween and it ends at Valentine's Day. A lot of people, when they celebrate the holidays at the end of the year, it lasts for a couple of weeks, maybe only a week. Some people don't get there until Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving usually is like, get Thanksgiving over so we can get on to and start focusing on Christmas and New Year's so we can start celebrating our holidays. And I think that it's basically, Thanksgiving is kind of like the black sheep of the family. It's like, get this over with so we can get on to the real holiday. But Thanksgiving is the real holiday, and so is Halloween. And if you have an issue with Halloween, then put All Saints Day in there, because All Saints Day and Halloween, they're back to back. But that idea of tapping into our inner child, it's so important. And we tend to look past Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving is such an incredible, important holiday. In fact, I think it's the foundation that other holidays rest upon. If you think about it, almost every holiday that we have, I can't think of one that we don't. There might be some out there that we don't, but every holiday that I can think of has to do with being thankful for someone or something. And when it comes to the big holidays at the end of the year, Thanksgiving should be the bed that they lay on. How we treat Thanksgiving will determine how good our Christmas and our New Year's will be, in my opinion. Because when you're grateful, when you're thankful, it sets everything else up. If you want your holidays to be great holidays this year, then focus on the gratefulness. Focus on being thankful. So I don't want to wait till Thanksgiving comes and then do a real quick podcast on it and say, here's Thanksgiving, now let's get on with Christmas. No, I want to set up Thanksgiving like people set Christmas up. Because if we can go through the holidays tapping into our inner child, and if we can go through the holidays remembering what it was like when we were kids, remembering the good memories, maybe some of us had some bad memories, but what about the good memories we have of when we were kids? Tapping into those. And tapping into being grateful. I want my holidays this year, and I hope all of our holidays this year will be more thankful than any of the holidays we've had in the past. Or if we at least just, I don't always like that when we say the greatest ever, the best we've ever had. So I don't want to go down that path, so maybe I should say it this way. What if we just focused on making this year's holiday season about being grateful, about being thankful for what we do have, for what has happened to us in the past that has been positive, that has been powerful? Then when Christmas comes, it will be about being grateful, being thankful. When the busyness of Christmas comes, when we get sidetracked, or when economy or commerce or whatever tries to sidetrack us from the real part of the holidays, we can go back to, no, wait a minute. I'm going to be grateful. I didn't get the gift that I wanted to get for that person, but I'm going to be grateful that they're in my life. I know that the traffic is nuts right now, but I'm going to be grateful that I'm actually in a vehicle that is going somewhere. I know that feels like a rat race right now, and everybody is so uptight and so tense, but I want to be grateful for the fact that I'm alive. And I'm not going to allow the busyness of the holidays to take away my thankfulness. That's why the next couple of weeks, I want to talk about the inner child. I want to talk about being thankful. And I want us to focus on filling this holiday season with more thanksgiving, with more gratefulness. So my question for you is, what did you go as this Halloween? I'll tell you what I went as, because I'm kind of in the zone. I was having to tell people all weekend long, nobody got it. Nobody could guess what I was. And to many, it appeared like I didn't dress up at all. But that just wasn't true. I dressed up as a werewolf. However, since it wasn't a full moon, nobody saw it. I almost went as a former gifted student, where once again I would have worn my normal clothes. And then when people would ask me what I was supposed to be, I would simply sigh, shake my head in disappointment, and then say, well, I was supposed to be a lot of things. That fits right into with being something that you're not. It fits right into with what we dressed up as in Halloween. It's an important question to ask. What did you go as this Halloween or this Halla weekend? It's an important question to ask. There's some signs that we might be able to find in that. Like that song by Ace of Base, I saw the sign. That came on the radio the other day, and I was listening to it, and I was like, oh, those are some good lyrics. And they fit right into with me asking, what did you go as this Halloween? It isn't just some conversational piece to get a conversation going. I'm asking a very important question. What costume did you pick or did you create? It's important that we ask that question. And here's why. What you dressed up as could actually be a sign. And like the song says, I saw the sign. No one's going to drag you up to get into the light where you belong. And then it says, but where do you belong? I'll tell you where you belong. You do belong up in that light. No one's going to drag you up to get into the light where you belong. That's where you belong. You belong in the light. Your colors are meant to be radiated. Your life deserves to have a spotlight put on it. That might scare some people. Some people don't like the spotlight. But your life is full of light. It's full of hope. You're a happy lifer. And you belong in the light where people can see your life, maybe not on a stage, maybe not famous. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about who you are and what you represent. But like the song says, no one's going to drag you up to that spot. No one's going to drag you up into the light where you belong. And then they said, I saw the sign, and it opened up my mind. And I am happy now. What you went as for Halloween could possibly be a sign that could open up your mind. Why did you pick what you picked? Or if you didn't pick a costume, why did you not pick a costume? Because I think asking that question is a wise thing to do, especially if you want to increase your happy. Like the song says, I saw the sign, and it opened up my mind, and I am happy now. Now, the rest of the song is all about, I saw the sign, I should have broke up with you a long time ago. But I'm taking this from a little bit different angle. when we look at the signs that the life is trying to show us, that life is trying to bring out to us, we pay attention to that. It opens up our mind, and it helps us to get to a happier place. Fred Rogers, also known as Mr. Rogers, he said this: play is often talked about as if it were a relief from serious learning. But for children, play is serious learning. And if we're talking about tapping into that inner child, seeing the signs, asking ourselves the question, why did I dress up as that? Now, maybe you just dressed up because it was a costume you found on sale. Maybe you didn't think of the costume, or the costume didn't work out, so you had to go with something else last second. But who did you want to be originally? And why was that the case? And maybe there's nothing to that, but maybe there is. Because of what Madeleine L'Engle said. She's the author of A Wrinkle in Time. Madeleine L'Engle believed that children pretending to be wizards and such was a good thing. She believed that imaginative play is a valuable and necessary outlet for exploring difficult concepts like good and evil, as it can equip them with weapons to face the real world. We're talking about tapping into our inner child right now. Imagination is so important. That's why I think Halloween, setting up the holidays, is so wonderful, because it gets our imagination going, which begins to spark all these other powerful things in our life. Because we forget those things. We forget sometimes, and the holidays bring us back to those moments. Madeleine L'Engle also said in her book called Walking on Water that, quote, one of the great sorrows which came to human beings when Adam and Eve, the first two humans in the creation story, when they left the Garden of Eden, paradise, when they left it, the greatest sorrow, she says, was, quote, the loss of memory of all that God's children are meant to be. And no one is going to drag you up to that part, to what you are meant to be. But that's exactly what we're trying to do here in this episode. Jesus himself said when his followers, when his friends, we like to call them disciples, but they were just regular dudes. I'm writing about that in my book the last couple of weeks, but they were just regular guys that Jesus picked. They came up to him and they said, who gets the highest rank in God's kingdom? And for his answer, Jesus called over a child, whom he stood in the middle of the room and said, I'm telling you once and for all that unless you return to square one and start over like children, you're not even going to get a look at the kingdom, let alone get in. Whoever becomes simple and elemental again, he said, like this child, will rank high in God's kingdom. What's more, when you receive the childlike on my account, not childish, but childlike. Childish is being a baby, being spoiled, being a jerk, you just fill in the blank there. But he says when you receive the childlike on my account, that's people tapping into their inner child. That's one reason why the holidays, even though they can be hectic, they can also be so warm as well. When you receive the childlike on my account, it's the same as receiving me. Jesus said that. That's in the Bible, Matthew chapter 18, the first handful of verses there. Kids get it, but adults forget it. We forget. We get a loss of memory of all that God's children are meant to be. And Halloween and All Saints Day go a long way in fixing that, in rectifying that. So who are you trying to be? Or if you could be anyone, who would you be and why would you want to be them? Who says we have to stop? Who says we have to stop? We might have put the costumes away, but we don't have to put the inner costumes away.
Dr. Forrest, dial 118, please. Dr. Forrest, please dial 118.
Like some people dressed up as a nurse. Now, they might have done it to look sexy, but nurses also help heal others. They also help other people who heal others, and doctors and physicians. So if you dressed up as a nurse, maybe there's a reason why you dressed up as a nurse, and maybe it was for more than just trying to look sexy. Why couldn't we be like a nurse throughout the rest of the holidays, which might set us up into the rest of our lives, to help other people, to help bring healing to other people, or to help other people who are good at healing people? When we encourage the encouragers, it just multiplies. Maybe you dressed up as a superhero, or you would choose to dress up as a superhero if you were able to tap into that inner child. If you were given permission. Well, I'm giving you permission now, not necessarily to put a cape on when you go to work on Monday morning, right? But why would we dress up as a superhero? Why do kids want to be a superhero? Why do we as adults still want to be? Is there a desire inside of you to want to be a superhero? Now, we all can't be superheroes. I mean, I don't even know if a human being can be a superhero. Because in the movies and the comic books, they fly around, they have wings, they have all sorts of powers that humans don't necessarily possess. So I don't know if we as humans can be superheroes, but the truth is we can all be a hero to somebody. And hint, kids are the easiest. It doesn't take a lot to be a hero to them. It takes a kind word. It takes a pat on the back. It takes encouragement. It takes a smile. We can't all be superheroes, but we all can be a hero to somebody. I remember when I was a kid, one of the outfits that you saw a lot of, you don't see as many of them now, but it's a strong man. And you always carried around a plastic barbells that looked like they're supposed to be 1,000 pounds, but they were only about 3 pounds, you know. And you carried that around. The inner child wants to be a strong man. Well, why can't we be one all year long? We don't have to put that, we put that costume away, but we don't have to put that ideology away. You want to be a strong man? What about just start working on a health plan? What about going to the gym just maybe once a week? You have to sign up for all those intense programs. When that happens, sometimes we quit after a week or two. What if we make the commitment to, I'm just going to do one thing. I'm going to go to the gym. If you didn't make it to the gym once a week, then just do a couple push-ups. People at my work, they're trying to do like 100 push-ups a day or something like that. I'm like, good for you. That ain't happening for me. But what about one push-up? I do one sit-up every day, half of it in the morning, and I do the last half at night when I go back to bed. Now, I'm never going to be able to lift 500 pounds. I don't really care about lifting 500 pounds. But I can be strong for somebody else. I am going to be strong for somebody else. I was watching football this weekend, and they did a episode where they interviewed all these football players, you know, kind of put a little montage on there. What superpower would you like to be? What superhero would you like to be? And one person came on and said he wanted to be the superhero Batman because Batman had all the money, right? Bruce Wayne had all the money. It sounds kind of like a selfish thing, but what if we had money to help other people? What if we used the money we had instead of waiting, when I get rich, then I'm going to give? Listen, if we're not giving to people now when we don't have money, we're not going to give it when we do have money. If you got $1, then you can use $1. Find a creative way to use $1 to help somebody else out. Give from what you do have. When it comes to Batman, truth be told, I'm more like Bateman.
As havoc continues across Gotham City, it seems our only hope is Batman.
Batman?
Yeah, close enough. Bateman. Gotta tell you, the suit really bunches up in the old Batcave, if you know what I mean. Stop. Whoa, cat lady. Time out. Wow.
Nice fanny bag.
Thank you. Rude.
Go home, Bateman. Do a podcast or something.
That's hurtful.
Yeah. What about the clown?
Oh, boy. Party clown. Listen, if we're gonna be roomies, no juggling, no magic, no balloon animals. I don't want any weird clown stuff, okay?
Man, when I was growing up, I remember the clown were good. They were healthy. And these horror movies started using clowns because they took what was innocent. That's what made the horror movies so scary, because they would take something that was innocent and they would make it evil. And now they do that with children. These children that are possessed or whatever. It's just like they take innocent and then they try to make it the opposite. They try to use it for evil. But clowns originally were there to make people laugh. And sometimes they're there to comfort. The clowns would come out like they were all depressed, and they would comfort us as human beings that were struggling with the same feelings. When that clown would do something funny, would make us laugh. And unfortunately, people, instead of grabbing that clown outfit, that's about making people feel better about themselves. Unfortunately, I mean, people it's not a crazy thing to ask, because people will be wearing costumes all year long anyway, inside. They'll be wearing that evil costume. They'll be wearing that mean costume. We don't need a whole lot of people to grab the original clown costume. The costume was all about making other people laugh by poking a little bit of fun at yourself, by not taking yourself so seriously. There'll be people this year that are going to wear the Dracula costume, who likes to suck the lifeblood right out of you. We all know people who do that. They got that costume on all year long, sucking the life right out of people. Wherever they go, they drain the life out of people. Or witches. There's other people that cast spell on people. Really, when you curse at somebody, I mean, there's two ways to use that word cursing, right? There's curse words, but there's also cursing somebody. The Bible has a sentence in it that says that from our mouth can come blessing or can come cursing. And some of us will wear that witch outfit and we'll curse people. Not like some witch's brew, and there's some people that do incantations, stuff like that. But I'm talking about people that when we say, you're stupid, you're never going to get that done. What are you even thinking? Those are curses. We're cursing people. If people can wear those outfits all year long, why can't we wear the outfits that say, I'm going to make your life better? Why did you pick what you picked to be? Or who is it you want to be, and why would you like to want to be that person or be that figure or be that thing? Maybe there's something deeper in there. Maybe there's a sign in there some way. Why not figure that out? Why not tap into that? Tap into the positive side of that and wear our costume throughout the rest of the holidays. I want to be strong for other people through the rest of the holidays. I'm going to not take myself so seriously, be that clown for the rest of the holidays. I'm going to be like Batman, and I'm going to use my money to bless other people. That's easy to do over the holidays. I'm not doing it because they did something for me. I'm doing it because they mean something, because they are somebody special. I want to be a hero to somebody this holiday. Let's go through these holidays tapping into our inner child. Let's go through the holidays full of gratefulness and full of thanksgiving. And I'm telling you what, those two things right there will change our holidays for the better in a big way.
Make someone happy. Make just one someone happy. And you will be happy too.
Don't be afraid to be like a child. Kids get it. Adults forget it. Thanks for listening. I hope that helped. Remember, life isn't perfect, but that doesn't mean we can't be superheroes.
StevoHays.
And it doesn't mean we can't be happy either. May your holidays be as happy as they ever have been. And may you find your child and your Thanksgiving. Then you'll find you're happy. I guarantee it.